operating here. That's why you see him both taking both sides. The last one, it's like before it leaves.
Sure.
I know you on TV a little bit.
Yeah.
You want to touch base? I'm gonna leave you. I'm not gonna.
Sure,
I don't
sure.
do gotcha moment, right?
Yeah,
You
right.
could talk. You don't want to talk. It's
I
all
always
great.
want to talk, George. Are you
Bring it
kidding me?
in. Bring it out. So let me know what really, from your point of view. Remember,
Sure.
the story is about you. It's not about me.
Yeah.
I don't put twists.
Right.
And I don't put stories.
Thank you.
It's your story.
Sure.
That I want to share with the world.
Yes, sir.
Because I've watched you unfold, sir.
Yes.
I've watched you grow.
Yes.
To the man that you became.
Yes.
So people are gonna judge 10 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I have something to say to them.
Yeah.
They need to know Bryan of 2 years ago.
Yes.
And that's what I saw from you, this fighter for the country, for the love of the country,
Yeah.
and for love of your family.
Yeah.
And I want to know what really happened, with the, like a little bit,
Sure,
like
sure.
5 minutes of TV
sure,
and
sure.
the stuff, and your kids.
Sure. So
Which is-
I actually have 14-year-old sextuplet children,
right.
so 3 boys and 3 girls. I'm the only father in Arizona of sextuplet kids.
That's what I wanted to touch.
My kids are
Based on it.
wonderful. They mean everything to me, and they are really my main motivation for fighting as hard as I do. Like that, they're the reason that I get up every day and I do the work that I do, and the activism that I do, and the fact that I'm running for governor is fighting for them so that they have a country to grow up in that is free, okay? Because President Reagan warned us. He said freedom is no more than one generation away from extinction. And freedom is not passed in the bloodline. It is fought for and it is preserved. And that if we do not defend it, one day we will wake up, okay, and we will be telling our children and grandchildren about what it was once like, okay, to live in the United States of America. So they are the biggest reason that I fight. They're the reason why. 11 years ago, we had a reality television show. It was on TV for 3 years. I'm a very open book. I don't hide any of my past at all. My ex and I, we had the TV show. We were raising our kids. My ex-wife got involved in an extramarital affair. It's public knowledge. She's married to the man today. He's their stepdad. It's not an issue. Like, we get along like a lot of co-parenting families do. And, she got involved in that affair, and it ended our marriage. And it was ugly. It was, we had an argument. It was totally peaceful. There was no violence at all. It was just a verbal argument over what was going on at the time. And
well, that's good. You're bringing it out so
sure.
people understand what really is happening.
It's not a gotcha moment.
Right. There's no gotcha moment.
People can try to do that. It's very simple. The only thing that I was ever convicted of was disorderly conduct. That's it. A misdemeanor, the same as getting a parking ticket.
Right. Well, most people, that's why I want you to bring it out
Sure.
to the world. Because I want them to know what is it, so they don't make their own twist.
Right.
Like if I were to present it, it would be completely different, sir.
Sure.
Last but not least, which is the most important part, since you have 6 beautiful children.
Yes.
3 girls and 3 boys, which is enormous. That's a lot of work.
Yes.
My question is the mask.
Yes.
Okay, for school. Now, I'm going to have to give you a double whammy because you're a good spokesperson, so I'm going to let you
I like
roll with
double
it.
whammies.
The
I'll even
double
take a
whammy is
triple
the
whammy.
board. What drives me crazy, people they go argue with the board.
Sure.
When in fact they have to go to the grassroots.
Yes.
We have a bunch of candidates like you
Sure.
running. I tape them from 11 videos. I work so hard. I put their messages out there, and I had no views.
Sure.
But then when somebody does a disturbance on a podium, screaming and yelling.
Right.
So should I scream and yell? Maybe I'll get the views. I was wondering about that. So from your perspective, the mask.
Yes.
And that because
Sure.
we let them indoctrinate our kids, but then we come crying to the podium.
So I think let me answer the second part of that question first, with regards to should you be screaming at the top of your lungs?
Yeah.
Not only you, George, but I think every single citizen in the state of Arizona should be screaming at the top of their lungs. So the squeaky wheel gets the grease. We literally need to be, at the churches of these school board members. We need to be at the gyms that they work out at. We need to be, right next to them wherever they go, in the grocery store, in the supermarket, and telling them, hey, like, this is ridiculous. Like, you cannot do this to our kids. We will not stand for it. And we need to make them incredibly uncomfortable. Now, please listen to what I'm saying very carefully. I didn't say do anything dangerous or hurt anyone at all. I do not believe in that. I'm not an advocate of that. What I am saying, though, is we need to make them uncomfortable to the point that they want to change what they're doing, because what they're doing is wrong, all right? And we all need to be speaking out. Like, it needs to be more than just going to a school board meeting and speaking out. we as parents need to be teaching our children how to be activists. I have already said on numerous occasions, all of this can end on day one. Literally, all we have to do is get all of our children to come together, all right? And literally, maybe not the elementary or junior high kids, but high school kids are certainly mature enough to walk out of class, gather in the cafeteria, and all 100 or 200 of them take all of their masks off at the exact same time and just tell the principal, we're done.
Right.
We're not doing this anymore. Like, we're not participating. Like, this should be finished, you know? And if those kids all take their masks off in unison, what's the school board really gonna do? Like, they're certainly not gonna arrest everybody, okay? There's no way that they'll do that. They're not gonna give everybody detention. They're not gonna do that. They're also not going to expel kids or kick them out of class because they need the money that those kids provide. Like, every day that a kid is sitting in a seat in the state of Arizona, that's between $50 and $60 a day. So, you know, the school's not going to kick them out. They're not going to expel them. They're not going to suspend them because they literally need that money. So we should be teaching our children how to be activists, where they go and they all gather together, they take their masks off together, and that's it. We're done. We are not participating any longer.
Well, thank you so much. Is there something how they reach you? Like what
Sure.
your
Sure. So
social
Yep.
network?
So all my social medias. So on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook, it's all Bryan Masche for Governor of Arizona 2022. There are also several groups there on Facebook. Healthcare workers for Bryan Masche for Governor of Arizona in 2022. There's a page, Bryan Masche for Arizona Governor 2022. There's a group, Bryan Masche for Governor of Arizona 2022. There's my regular Facebook page, Bryan Masche. My website is www.macheforgovernorarizona2022.com. Reach out to us. So we're at all the events. We travel all over the state. We're giving interviews everywhere. Get in touch with us and let's help take Arizona back.
Nobody asked that question, but I'm going to ask you one more.
Yes.
I want to put that in while people still here before
Sure.
they leave.
Sure.
So I said, give me that info because
Yeah.
I see people start dwindling.
Yeah.
Here's the question.
Yes.
To an independent American, because we're
Yes.
all Americans, I don't care.
Sure.
People like they have this phobia, you know.
Right.
Democrat, Republican, they all have right to vote, right? As a governor, and now you're reaching out to independent, because I have two independents, a friend of mine,
Sure.
that asked me this question this morning. They said to ask you,
Yeah.
what can you do to win them?
Sure. So,
Because you're after all a governor for a whole state. You're not going to be a
course.
governor for the Republicans.
Sure, of course.
Can you tell those two individuals, friend of mine,
Yeah.
right now, what are you going to do with them differently than Doug?
Sure. So to those that are out there that are independents and some that are even like JFK Democrats, you know, moderate Democrats, you need a governor that will actually get work done for the people, all right? Meaning, I will never tell anyone that their business is essential or not essential. I will never shut anyone down. We will never mask anyone. We will get control back, okay, over our school systems. We'll get control back over our legislature, over our businesses. And ultimately, I want people to have freedom. That's what it all comes down to. Freedom to make their own decisions.
How about the
all right?
infighting? They hear so much about the infighting between
There's
Republicans.
infighting, within the Republican Party, and that needs to end. We can't get anything done if we're not all on the same page together, okay? And we need to be actually electing real conservative Republicans that actually follow the Constitution, that actually know the Constitution. My opponents in the race, I can guarantee you, I know the Constitution better than any of them because I use the Constitution in my speech. The Constitution is the solution for everything. People want to say, oh, it's outdated. Oh, it was written 250 years ago. No, I believe the Constitution was inspired, okay, literally by God, and that the answers to the problems that we are facing are all within the Constitution itself. And our rights need to be protected. They need to be protected if you're a Republican, if you're an independent, if you're a libertarian, if you're a Democrat. Our rights need to be preserved. And right now, our legislature, the House and the Senate, as well as the governor, as well as businesses all across the state, are trampling all over your rights. If you want to get a vaccination, get a vaccination. I won't tell you to get it. As a master's prepared nurse, I do not believe in it. I think it's more dangerous than it does any good. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. I don't do it. I haven't done it. I won't tell people to do it. It doesn't actually work. The studies show that they don't work. but that's your decision if it makes you feel comfortable. That's what we need to be doing in Arizona. We need to give people freedom and liberty back, their own choices back, get government out of the way. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, if you're an independent, Republican, libertarian, whatever. We have to do that, and we have to let the people have control of their lives again.
I want to take a shot with you. That's why this is
Yeah, thank
just
you
to
so
let
much.
everybody know. I appreciate it. It took me a long time to get a hold of him because he's very busy as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
I want to thank you for this candid
Sure.
discussion.
Yeah.
This is MAAP Real Talk Show with you here at the State Capitol in Phoenix. Today actually is a big day, but I decided to be with Bryan as well because he has a lot to offer
Thank
for
you,
the
George.
state of Arizona. George Nemeh with you from MAAP Real Talk Show. For the Life channel, I want to thank you all for your questions up there and the invite here soon enough for the main camera will be broadcast live everywhere else. Thank you so much. This
Thanks,
is MAAP Real
guys.
Talk Show with
Thank
Bryan
you.
Masche.
Thanks, George.
Running for governor.
Have a great day, guys.